it is Thursday. I haven't really done a really slow, super slow flow class this week. We haven't had a class where we've started lying down, and so I'm a little bit excited to actually start this one lying down. So we'll get you to lie, and just because we do so many active things during our days and during our week. And I was talking to someone this morning at the end of my morning class, and he said, it's February and I'm already exhausted. And I thought, I can relate to that. It's been a very, very interesting start to 2022. And I know people think working from home is somewhat maybe easier than coming into the office, and I disagree. I disagree. I don't think it's easier. I don't think it's less challenging. I think it's more challenging as well. And there's a sense of isolation that some people can feel, and it's a completely different dynamic. And so what I was feeling from my morning class and just talking to a few people, particularly a few people who are school teachers, and a lot of people who come to yoga are school teachers, is that they're already exhausted. Their nervous systems are already feeling a little overwhelmed. And so that's why, if you can allow yourself to take one class a week that is very little movement and a lot of focus on moving slowly, moving your body very slowly, but more importantly, bringing your breath and breath awareness into this practice. Because through my experience learning about breath work, it is the fastest way to shift your nervous system. You can do all of the exercise that we do is great to release endorphins, that physical activity. We feel good afterwards. But when we really want to take that shift and shift into a more calm, relaxed state, and trust me, you may not know that you need it, but you do. You really do, because deep inside, there is a lot of stuff going on that is moving through our nervous system that is not visible on the outside. And I was having this discussion with my nearly 14-year-old son this morning, who is, I feel, there are hormones running around inside of him, and he doesn't really understand why he is sometimes waking up in the middle of the night and having, I can feel the anger that's sitting just beneath his voice, the frustration more so. Not with me, but just, and I was saying there are things going on inside your body that you aren't aware of. There's chemical, trying to balance themselves, and hormones and all sorts of stuff going on, and changes. And his response to that was, but I'm not getting any taller. And I said, if that's your only measure of change, then you're in trouble, mate, because that's not our only measure of what's going on. Internally, we are sometimes not aware, but it can come out as fatigue or frustration or overwhelm, or just a general sense of malaise, not really knowing why. So I invite you now just to let everything go. Let's let the day go. We're sitting in the energy of a beautiful full moon today in Leo, which is all about releasing, letting go, and opening your heart. So let's have that as the foundation of our practice today, and keep everything really nice and gentle and slow, and breathe into as much of the body as we can with intention, with conscious intention, so that our breath no longer is this unconscious act that is a part of, I guess, our life, or keeping us alive. This, we're not even aware that we're breathing. It's just, it keeps us going, it keeps us living. So that's our unconsciousness. unconscious breath. Let's bring some sense of consciousness to our breath and start to notice how it's showing up for you today, because the breath doesn't lie. And that may be a strange statement, but it really doesn't. You can see by your breath what's happening on the inside of your body and how your emotional and your nervous system is really sitting. If your breath is short and shallow and sharp and there's a wheeze there, then that's your nervous system struggling a little, being in that fight and flight, yeah? If you're feeling, the breath is fast and there's a lifting up through the upper body, that's the shallowness of the breath. And then that's okay, because when you bring your sense of awareness to that, you can change that. It's your breath, it's your superpower. So slow your breath down, let it start to travel a little deeper through you, and with eyes closed down, actually feel that breath moving a little deeper into your body, and see if you can notice a little lift of your belly, and then feel that breath rising in that expanded state. Now a little lift of your chest or your collarbones, and then feel some softness now. And I want you to exhale as slowly as you can. So making your exhale almost half the pace of your inhale, or even slower. So a really slow exhalation, and notice if your body now starts to kind of drop a little deeper into the mat. Is there a level of softness that you've been able to reach with this slower breath? And then check in with your physical body. Keep that breath going, but can you soften that area that sits behind your eyes, in that eye socket? Maybe decrease that area that sits between the eyes, between your eyebrows, at your third eye. And could you offer some softness to your cheeks and relax your jaw? Maybe open and close your mouth a little. Feel that jaw unhinge. And keep your awareness traveling down the body. And is there an opportunity to maybe de-armor your chest? If there's a tightness on the chest, could you open that up a little and feel the upper back sink into the mat? Sometimes we find that we think my shoulders are tight, my shoulders are tight. And often it's the shoulders or the upper back where the shoulder blades are meeting, because the chest is a little tight and it's pulling. So opening a little more through the chest, and remembering that this full moon in Leo is all about opening the heart. And the heart we think of is always sitting in the front. We just think of, the heart as a chest. Immediately you think heart, chest. But what about the back of the heart? What about the sides of the heart? Let's see if we can open a little through the sides and the back, and remember that part that sits between the back of the shoulder blades. Or just imagine that your heart is, that we're opening front, back and sides. It's not just the front of the heart. We all have a back body as well. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So letting yourself, or letting your awareness travel a little down towards your belly now, and softening that belly, which may also just allow your hips and pelvis just to kind of open a little. And stay with this breath, this half pace exhale, slowing everything down, letting everything soften a little more, and see if you can generate a little sound in the back of your throat as you exhale. So breathing in through the nose and allowing a little sound to start to form in the back of your throat, like the sound of the ocean. So we're finding this almost like an Ujjayi breath. This Ujjayi breath is the ocean breath, where we are breathing in, but we're making a little sound in the back of the throat, and the same on the exhale. But I don't want you to make it on the inhale. I want your inhale to be silent, but your exhale is an audible, to your ears, an audible ocean breath sound, because that sends a message to your physical body that it's safe, that we're creating a safe space for it to open and relax and drop down a little more. And so I also would like you to notice your resistance to any of this. the resistance to softening, the resistance to being still or letting go. Because it's my personal belief that the more resistance we feel, the more we need this practice. So notice if your mind is going, oh, I want to move my body, or just be aware. When I first started doing practices like this, there was so much resistance in my body to stop. I wanted to move. But now, when I do practices like this, I never want them to stop. I want them to continue for hours. So, an indication to me of how far I've come, but also how much my body needs the space and the time to just be still. So, I know we're all quite busy. We all do a lot. So let's stop doing and just being, just for the duration of our practice. So notice as you're taking this little inquiry through your physical body, is there anything that arises that kind of floats to the surface for you to wrap deeper awareness around? And that it might be a little injury, it could be just a little bit of tension or tightness. Sometimes when we stop, the body releases a little more, relaxes a little more, and what might have been lying underneath an area, a little bit of the core of our tension gets released, and that's a beautiful thing, because now we have the source of the tension and tightness, and we can go directly to the source, rather than usually where pain shows up in the body is not the direct source. So we have to allow ourselves this time and space to make those inquiries, these deep inquiries. So let yourself just take a few more breaths and breathe down deep into your belly. Let's feel that belly rise all the way into your chest. And then slowly feeling that chest just soften, and remember half pacing that exhale to drop us even deeper and even faster into our physical bodies, so that we are fully landed, and all we're focusing on from here on in is our breath and our bodies and our movement, and seeing if we can move a little deeper and deeper into our poses. And knowing that if your mind does maybe start just to wander a little outside of your space, that you just need to focus again on your breath to bring it back. So let's start to invite some gentle movement now, unlocking a little more tension and inviting a little more softness to the body. Just start to bend your knees and draw your feet towards your buttocks and arms out to the side. Let's heel toe our feet to the edges of the mat, and just start with this gentle, very slow movement of our knees from one side of the mat to the other. So we're taking this really lovely twist through the spine, allowing the spine, the spongy discs that sit between the vertebrae, just to kind of expand, and we're creating a little more space between the vertebrae by opening and breathing into and twisting and rotating into those spongy discs. And you might turn your head in the opposite direction, so the cervical spine gets a little look in as well, gets an opportunity to twist and turn as well. Next time your knees land on the right, just hold there and take your right heel or ankle to sit on top of that left thigh. Just allowing a gentle, the heaviness of that foot, just to gently draw that inner left thigh a little closer to the mat. And maybe your head's turned in the opposite direction. Then slide that foot off the knee and gently bring your knees through center and over to the left. And you can turn your head to the right and take your left heel or ankle to sit on top of that right thigh, and just gently draw that inner right thigh a little closer to the floor. your knees to just gently come one more time to the right, back through center and to the left. And back through center and draw your knees into your chest now, and let's interlace the fingers over the shins. Just gently hug your thighs and knees in. And then let your hands, or as your feet touch down below the buttocks, let your hands slide to mid-thigh. And on your next inhalation, start to peel your back off the mat. So as we lift the back, the arms lift all the way to the floor behind us in this little rolling bridge pose. And we exhale and slowly lower the back, vertebra by vertebra, and the hands again. So as the back lands, the hands rest mid-thigh, and then draw your knees into your chest. Slide the hands over the shins. As you gently draw thighs and knees in now, you might even lift your head and shoulders off the floor and draw the forehead and the knees towards each other. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, lower your head and shoulders to the floor first, letting your feet touch down below the buttocks and hands to mid-thigh. Let's roll again. Inhale, peel your back off the mat, lift the arms towards the ceiling and all the way to the floor behind you. And exhale, slowly lowering the back and the arms together. So when the back is fully landed, the hands are resting mid-thigh, and then as you take your next breath in, just slide your knees to chest and hands over the shins. You might lift your head and shoulders off the floor and draw the forehead and the knees towards each other. Last time, inhale, and as you exhale, lower the head and shoulders to the floor first, feet touch down below the buttocks, hands to mid-thigh. Inhale now and peel your back off the mat, lifting nice and slowly. Really squeeze the glutes and lift the hips and pelvis towards the ceiling as the hands come to the floor behind you. And then slowly on your exhale, lower the back, lower the arms, hands rest mid-thigh. And you can draw your knees back into your chest, slide the hands over the shins, interlace your fingers here, and gently lift your head and shoulders off the floor. So take a deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, lower your head and shoulders to the floor and just slide your hands across your knees. Start to just rotate the knees, taking these circles with the knees and feeling into your glutes and your lower back and allowing the circles to be any size that you need, whether you just want to make them small to focus on the lower back or a lot bigger to bring in the glutes. It's whatever your body needs. Changing the direction of the circles whenever you feel to. And then coming back to center, just gently hugging your thighs and knees in, interlacing the fingers just below the knees. Letting your left foot touch down, just keeping that right knee in. And just gently press that knee away on your inhale and hug the knee in a little closer as you exhale. And do that again. Maybe we flex the foot now. Press away on the inhale. Gently drawing it in on the exhale. And one more time. Hold here and just start to straighten that leg now. So let your fingers just interlace behind the back of the thigh. Just for a moment, let's bend that leg. So heel is drawing into the body. And then straighten it again. And bend, heel towards the body. And let it stay now, pressing the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. And your hands can stay behind the thigh or they might slide to the calf muscle. But don't let your shoulders lift too much or they might slide to the ankle. And then rotate through your ankle joint here. feeling as you slowly rotate at the ankle joint, feeling the whole leg start to switch on and move, the calf, the hamstring, the shin, and the quads. Changing the direction again of the circle whenever you feel. Let's flex the foot and point. Notice on the flex, you're really activating the back of the leg, and on the point, it's more the front. And again. And hold in a flexed position here. Let's inhale and just gently, just inquire as you draw the leg back. You're dropping your awareness into your hamstring. Just inquire how little or how big you need to draw that leg back. The hamstring will let you know when to stop and then take another breath. So breathing into the back of that leg with the intent to open, expand, or the opportunity for that to happen, and then to invite a little extra softness into the tightness of the muscle. So keep your shoulders soft, relax the jaw. One more breath. Then you can slide maybe your hands back down to the back of the thigh. Bend that leg. And then let's take that right leg out to the right side of the body in its bent form. So we want to open a little into the inner thigh here, the adductor. Let's draw the thigh knee out towards the underarm or shoulder. Start to draw that leg back through center. And when you can, just take hold of the outer blade of that right foot with your left hand and draw the whole leg in towards the chest, but principally that foot in towards the left side of the chest. And then let your right arm either be on the outside of the leg, or you might hook it underneath the back of the calf. And just gently start to rock that leg across the body. So we open a little into that inner, not inner thigh, the glutes and the outer glutes. Okay, let's come back to center. Hug that leg in a little closer on your inhale. Release that ankle to sit on top of that left thigh. On your exhale and right hand, hit to slide to the inside of that inner right thigh. And when you're ready, draw your left knee into the chest. Right hand can thread through the legs, left hand to the outside. So let's just maybe interlace the fingers behind the back of the thigh, or you might bend the leg and interlace them behind that, or just underneath that left knee. Relax the shoulders. Flex both of the feet. Start to gently draw that left knee in towards you. So on your inhale, press the knee away. On your exhale, hug that knee. Do that again. Press away on the inhale, gently drawing in on the exhale. One more time. As you're drawing that knee in, just relax your shoulders away from the ears, soften the chest. And maybe you lift your head and shoulders off the floor and draw the forehead and the knee towards each other. Take a deep breath in. And slowly on your breath out, release the head and shoulders to the floor. Let your left foot touch down. So arms can make that T pattern. Lift your hips now on buttocks and slide them a little to the right and heel to your left foot a little to the right. And let your legs, as they are, drift to the left. Left hand can come in just to take hold of that ankle perhaps, and slide the foot in a little closer. And then slide that hand up to the outside of the knee and just gently hug that knee in. Relaxing the shoulders. You might turn and look over that right shoulder. So let's hold for 3 breaths, slowing down that exhale. And you can take that left arm out to the side, roll over onto your back. And start to heel to your left foot across to the left. Draw your hips back to center. Let that left foot continue all the way to the edge of the mat now, and legs as they are can just drift to the right. You might turn your head to the left here and just hold for 3 breaths in this gentle twist through the spine. Slide that foot off the side now. And let your legs just gently drift from one side or over to the left and then to the other. Draw your legs back through center and into your chest. And just gently hug them in. If you feel to, you could again lift your head and shoulders off the floor. It's nice to get that little curvature to the spine. And your body might be calling for it, or it might not. Just honor wherever it's at. Inhale, and now on your exhale, just lower the head and shoulders to the floor first, and let your right foot touch down. So we've got the left knee in. Just gently press that knee away on your inhale and draw that knee in a little closer on your exhale. And do that again. And one more time. So holding that thigh and knee in, just taking your hands to the back of that thigh now. And let's just straighten that leg. And then bring the heel back to the buttock. And do that again. So one more time, straightening the leg. Flexing the foot, so the sole of the foot feels like it's reaching towards the ceiling. And then you might, your hands could stay here, or you might slide them to the calf. Or maybe around or towards the ankle. But relax your shoulders here and just rotate through that ankle joint. Of the leg as we point and the back of the leg as we flex. Let's hold in a flexed position. Engaging the back of the leg now and bringing awareness to that hamstring. So go nice and slowly. Just take a breath in to breathe into the back of that leg, and then slowly think of this as an inquiry. As you're drawing that leg back, you're inquiring into the hamstring, having a conversation. Do you want me to go a little slower? Can we soften a little more? And could I relax the shoulders a little? Do you need me to bend the knee? Because the hamstring might be really tight, and so maybe you need that knee bent a little, but still getting that nice stretch through the back of that hamstring. let your left hand just guide that bent leg out to the left side of the body. And perhaps there's a little drawing of your shoulder, your knee towards your shoulder, your thigh and knee towards your shoulder. And start to draw that leg into the chest. Take your right hand, reach down, take hold of the outer leg of that left foot, and just draw the foot in towards the right side of your chest, hug the leg in towards you. So the left arm now could come to the outside of the leg, or you might hook it under and just take a little rock of this leg across the body. And coming back to stillness, hug that leg in as close as you can on your next inhale. And then release that left ankle to sit on top of that right thigh on your exhale. Left hand can slide into that inner left thigh. When you're ready, draw your right knee into the chest and left hand can thread through the legs and right hand to the outside, and you could interlace the fingers just behind the back of that thigh. And maybe bending the knee and interlacing the fingers just below the knee, and just gently draw that right knee towards your chest, left elbow pressing into that inner left thigh. So as you inhale, press the knee away, and on your exhale, hug that knee in a little closer. And do that again. Pressing away on the inhale, hugging that knee in on the exhale. One more. Shoulders. Perhaps lift your head and shoulders off the floor if that feels like something your body needs or wants. Deep breath in here, and on your breath out, release the head and shoulders to the floor. Your right foot touches down. Arms make a T. Slide your hips or your buttocks a little to the left. Heel toe your right foot a little to the left. And the legs as they are, drift to the right. Letting that right hand come in, just hold of that ankle and slide the foot in a little more if you need to, and then sliding that hand up to the outside of that knee and hugging that leg in. So turning to look over your left shoulder if that feels okay, and we're holding for at least 3 breaths here, gently drawing that leg in, opening into that hip and glute. Taking those deep belly and elongated exhale breath. Start to slide that right arm out to the side. Let's roll back onto our backs. And heel toe your right foot towards the right edge of the mat. Then allow your hips to be back or slide back to center. Right foot can continue all the way to the edge of the mat. Just gently, legs as they are, can now drift to the left. And head could be neutral or turning to the right. And again, let's hold for 3 breaths. Just in a slightly different twist. Relax the shoulders, feel the upper back sink into the mat, the back of your heart. And start to slide that foot off the knee now, and just gently allow your knees to drift to the right, back across to the left, and back through center. Just draw them into your chest now. And just want to slowly and gently just take a little rock and roll along your mat. So hands to come behind the back of your thigh. And you might lift the head and shoulders off the floor, a little rock. And we get to massage the entire length of the spine here. And just let yourself come up to a comfortable seated position. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. Let yourself arrive, moving a little, maybe side to side, maybe a little forward and back, a little roll of your shoulders up, back and down. Keep your eyes closed down. Perhaps there's these just little tiny circles with your hips that are just allowing a little more grounding into the space, that are an inquiry and exploration now into the upper body. Gently turning your head side to side. Up and down. Allowing your chin now to land on your chest and just roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Coming back through center on an inhale and now exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And go again. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale to the right. Inhale, chin to chest. Exhale to the left. Come back to center on your inhale. And on your exhale, just lift the chin off the chest and maybe gaze towards the ceiling. And then take a breath from there, and on your breath out, just sink back. Chin comes to chest, but now navel to spine and rock back on your sit bones. So your inhalation allows you to rock forward, lift the chest a little and gaze towards the ceiling. And your exhale to round through that upper back and rock back. Do that one more time. Kind of seated cat and cow move. Inhale. This would be like our cow, and exhaling back into the cat. But instead of hands on the floor, they're just over the tops of our knees. And then find a neutral spine. Let's inhale, fingers can touch here, and exhale, let your right hand come down, left arm reaches. And come back through center on your inhale and exhale to the left. And then let your fingers touch on your inhale, and we're going to rotate, twist and open to the right on the exhale. And come back through center on the inhale, and twist and turn and open to the left on the exhale. Come back through center on the inhale. Hands can meet in prayer. Exhale, guide hands to your heart space. Keep the hands in prayer. Send them towards the ceiling on your next breath in and open into your cactus arms. And then let your fingers touch on your next breath in. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches, holding here in this shape, but taking some pulsations with the breath. A little lift on the breath in, going a little deeper on the breath out. And again. One more time, because I like to do things in threes. Three's the magic number. And then inhale. Fingers touch. Exhale. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches. And come back through center on your inhale. T-arms. Exhale back to the right. Letting fingers touch now on your inhalation and twisting, turning to your left as you exhale. Back through center on your inhale. Twist and turn to the right on your exhale. Back through center on your inhale. Hands meet in prayer. Exhale, hands to the heart. Keeping them in prayer. Send them towards the ceiling on your inhale. Find your cactus arms as you exhale. And then let your fingers touch with your next breath in. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches, landing here. Little pulsations. Press away on the inhale. Go a little deep on the exhale. And again. So we open more through that side body. And then bring your hands back to meet in prayer. And let's exhale. Guide hands to the heart. And just take a breath, just one breath here. And then can we just bring the hands to our thighs or knees, wherever you are in your seated position. I'd like you to extend your right leg out to the side. Keep your left heel or bring your left heel into that upper inner thigh and draw the toes of your right foot back. And just let your right arm rest, forearm on that shin, and use your next inhale to bring the left arm up, and let's exhale, reach to the toes and lift on your inhale and go a little deeper on your exhale. And one more time. So as you land, just lift the shoulder a little and draw it back so that we keep that chest open. And then on your next inhalation, let that left arm come behind you. Let's lift and find a little openness through that front body. Take a breath in here, and gently on your breath out, lower everything back to the floor and slide your right knee into the chest and pop that right leg over the left. And maybe you slide your hips back a little here, so both sit bones are on the mat. Right hand comes behind, inhale, take your left arm up, and exhale the elbow or the hand or hug the knee, whatever works. Take a breath in to find a little length through the spine, crown of the head lifts nice and tall. And on your breath out, shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, let your head and neck turn to the wall behind. One more breath. And gently on your next breath in, guide your head and neck back to center. Rest of the body can follow. Just shift the weight back and bring your feet to the edges of your mat and just take a little kind of palate cleanser. Just like that windscreen wiper we take often on our backs. And then come back to center. You'll draw your right heel in first and extend, I'm just going to move on my mat, your left leg out to the side. Toes of that left leg drawing back, and let your left forearm just sit on the shin, inside or outside, not super important. Toes are drawing back. Let's inhale, take the right arm up, and exhale, reach, and let yourself take those pulsations here. So keeping that chest nice and open so we're not drawing that arm down. One more breath. Shoulder lifts up a little, draw it back a little. Then let's take that right arm behind us on the mat, point toes on the left foot, and sweep and lift and find this little fascia. A nice press forward of the hips and pelvis. Inhale, and slowly on your exhale, land back down, draw your left knee in, crossing that left leg over the right, making sure both of your sit bones are connected, shuffling a little if you need to. Left hand comes behind, inhale, take your right arm up. On the exhale, either it's the elbow, it could be the hand, you might hug that knee in. Take another breath in to find a little length through the spine. Elongate the spine, lift the crown of the head. And on your breath out, shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, your head and neck turns to the wall behind. One more breath. And gently guiding your head and neck back to center. Rest of the body can follow. I'm just going to turn this. You're going to lean back and bring your feet out to the side, and I'm just turning to the side. So feet are at the edges of the mat. Little palate cleanser, legs side to side, and we are going to come back down onto our backs and take a little Shavasana. So come back to center. You can heel toe your feet back to hip distance. As you take your next inhalation, lift the arms, and on your exhale, roll the back all the way, nice and slowly onto your mat, and bring your feet towards your buttocks, knees to chest. Hug the knees in. Take a little rock from side to side here. Maybe you circle the knees again, creating this lovely your glutes and your lower back. Such a gift to take this time out in the middle of our day to really check in with our nervous system and find this opportunity to relax and open and create space and soften. Let's gently just hug the knees into your chest. So inhale here, and as you exhale, let your feet just touch down below the buttocks and bring the arms to make a T. Lift your hips, slide them a little to your right, and cross your right leg over your left leg, and just let those cross legs gently, slowly float to the left. Try to keep both backs of the shoulders on the mat, and you might turn your head in the opposite direction. Slow, deep breath. Feel like you're recharging your nervous system. Allowing it this opportunity to sit in that rest and digest state, that parasympathetic nervous system getting this nurture and nourishment. Let's start to roll over onto our back and uncross your legs here and just lift your hips. Slide them now over to the left side of the mat and crossing your left leg over your right leg. Let's take those crossed legs now to the right, and you can turn your head to the left. Slow, deep breaths, both backs of the shoulders as best we can, connected to the back. Notice if there's any tension or tightness, and allow yourself to breathe into that. Roll over onto our backs now, uncross your legs and draw your hips back to center. And draw your knees into your chest, hands onto the knees. Circle your knees out and away, and then let them meet and hug them into the chest. And circle them out. And let them meet, and do that one more time. So pause with your knees together but away from you, and circle them out and in towards you, and press away and circle out and in, press away, circle out and in, and hold and slide your hands to your shins now. Gently hug the thighs and knees in. Let's lift the head and shoulders off the floor. Find that little seed pod, little cosmic egg. Deep breath in. And your breath out, release your head and shoulders back to the floor. Feet can touch down below the body. Extend one foot at a time now to the bottom of the mat. Feet open out to the side. Arms to the sides of the body. Flipping your palms. So your palms face the ceiling, and just letting yourself close down your eyes and settle again into a beautiful softness through your body that we settled into when we first came into our mat to set ourselves up. Let's just take some time to just really sink into the space and let go of the breath now, and let it just be nice and natural. So there's no focus on anything here. There's just allowing this lovely sense of softness to permeate through every layer, through the skin, through the muscles, through the bones, and let this wave of softness move through you, all the way from the top of your head, from the crown of your head down to the tops of your feet. Feel your eyes soften, your cheeks, your jaw, your neck and shoulders, the chest. Feel the rib cage expand and open a little more as the back of your body sinks a little deeper into the mat, and allow there to be this softness through your belly and your abdomen and your hips and pelvis. And notice how when you allow that to happen, that wave of softness moves down through your thighs and unlocks any knots that were sitting in your knees and down through your shins into your ankles. And we feel the feet just naturally open up a little more with a sense perhaps of heaviness, total relaxation. Start now just to allow your breath to begin to slowly deepen. Start to invite your awareness back to your space on the mat and your position in the room. There's no hurry here, just allowing that awareness to gently and slowly begin to expand out beyond your mat. Your space, perhaps out to the four corners of the room that you are in, and then beyond that space to that outside world. So we enter back into the outside space with a sense of curiosity and childlike inquiry as to whether the work we've done in our inner space has allowed the view of our outer world to change, or our perception to change. So just notice how you're feeling now that we have brought awareness back to encompass our space. And then slowly allow the sound of the bells to gently guide you back to your physical body, here on the mat, inside this space, your space. Invite gentle movement now into your fingers and toes. flickers of energy. Starting to move a little deeper into the body, maybe rotating your wrists and your ankles, or open and closing your hands, or letting your feet gently move in and out, or turning your head a little from side to side. And then maybe there's a bigger wave of energy that allows your arms to lift overhead, so fingers are reaching to the wall behind and toes to the wall in front. And you can take a nice deep breath in here now, feeling that expansion through your body on that inhale, and as you exhale, allowing your body to become as long as it possibly can, as we unlock any last pieces of tension and allow that softness to permeate. And bend your knees and start to roll over to your favorite side, so you can rest your head in your upper arm and your forearm, just for a few moments here, where we just allow all the gifts and goodness of our practice to be fully received. We leave nothing behind on the mat. And when you're ready, you can start to slowly, mindfully begin to make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed down, with hands in prayer, so thumbs are resting gently in on your sternum, in Anjali Mudra at your heart space. Allow just those few breaths to ground you back into your sit, and then find that beautiful half-paced exhale. How slow can you release that breath? Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this Thursday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a wonderful afternoon. If you're watching the replay, evening, morning. Namaste.